Welcome back, everybody. Mitt Romney had yet another change of heart, telling the Des Moines Register here in an interview, quote, "There is no legislation with regards to abortion that I am familiar with that would become part of my agenda." A very decidedly different tone from what Romney said about Roe v. Wade during the primaries.
Do I believe Supreme Court should overturn Roe v. Wade? Yes.
Planned Parenthood, we're going to get rid of that.
The Obama campaign called him out on that change, but the Romney campaign says this new interview was no shift at all, but, well, let the sound bites speak for themselves.
I believe that abortion should be safe and legal in this country.
I will preserve and protect a woman's right to choose, and am devoted and dedicated to honoring my word in that regard. I have always opposed abortion.
Okay. Always. Listen.
Always being this year.
Here's my thing on this one. Do we want a disciplined person who believes what they believe? Yeah, you'll change on something, but there's a pattern with this guy that nobody debates, okay? I mean, his own campaign manager called him Etch-a-Sketch, okay? So my point is, do we want a politician in today's day and age who says, this is what I believe, this is my core, and I'm not going to move on, it might cost me a vote here or there, but at least you know where my core is? Or do you want somebody who's going to say, all right, the polls are going this way, I can get a deal, get a deal done, legislation passed, by finding wherever the middle is? Is there a core, and I'll start with you, Dom, on this, that the public at the end wants, that we should expect that somebody's not going to move depending on how the polls are?
I think Americans want someone who's principled, but someone that understands the political realities of this day and age, that on every single issue a deal has to be cut. Now, that's just the way of life. I mean, that's not saying that you're waffling or you're not principled. Obama, as it relates to the middle class, we have seen where he's principled, and there are certain core programs that he will not cut.
But there's certain social issues where people believe that you have a position, and the president changed his position on gay marriage. I think a lot of Americans, though, in the last decade may have. But there are certain core positions where people say, well, there's your core. You know what? I may agree or may disagree, but I know where you are.
What issue is that, though? Because quite, you know, this is really interesting. It's a very fun debate to have. If you go back and you look at Joe Biden's pro-life record, where he voted for a Senate resolution calling for the constitutional overturn of Roe v. Wade, where he consistently voted for the Hyde Amendment, which said no federal funding for abortions, is that his position today? Look, I think, and this is what I believe, and the American people can just decide about Mitt Romney however they like, and they will. What I believe in my heart is that Mitt Romney is a pro-choice Republican. I believe that. I believe that, unfortunately, that in any hope of winning a Republican nomination, that position has had to evolve. It evolved for George W. Bush. George W. Bush, when he ran for Congress, was a pro-choice candidate.
Yeah.
And that is an unfortunate situation that I fight with my party on all the time, that we put our candidates in that position. And so when Romney says, I am not walking that door, much like Ronald Reagan. Reagan was a very pro-life Republican.
But there's a bigger problem
He
here.
never did anything to change
There's a bigger problem here.
And
that is, if you look at Obama when we're talking about gay marriage, and when you're talking about talking about Biden on those issues, I think people at their core give politicians a certain amount of leeway for political cover and to strike a deal. But at their core, you know that Barack Obama supports civil rights, and that would eventually extend over to gay marriage. I don't think anybody really knows where Mitt Romney is on abortion, as well as on a host of other issues. To be honest, I have no sense of what his core beliefs are about this, because he started as pro-choice, and now he's coming out as being ardently pro-life. And if Romney's elected, he's going to, in all likelihood, have a Republican Congress. You can bet there's going to be a bill that pops out and comes to his desk relating to abortion rights.
I think we need to know what the line is, to Andrew's point. Where is everybody's line?
I'll tell you what he's going to do.
You don't even have the politician. Every human being we know, there's a line you're not going to cross.
But
you kind of know what that line is for
Richard,
people.
you know, I struggle with the abortion issue as a Catholic, but as someone who, in my heart, is pro-life. That's what my heart tells me to be, okay? But as an elected official, if I were ever have to vote on it, I could never vote to take away a 24-year-old woman's right to have an abortion.
And you know what?
It's a huge struggle.
But I'm only saying this is more of a pattern,
and again,
right?
I think Barack Obama 4 years ago, there's no doubt in my mind he was for gay marriage. but I thought he saw the politics
bet
of
you're
it,
right.
said that right now the African American community is going to give me a lot of grief, etc. And so I think that on certain issues, particularly these social issues, we do need to give all candidates, whether it's Joe Biden, whether it's Barack Obama. Let's see what happens after 4 years. Let's look at your record. I know where Barack Obama is on gay marriage. He supports it.
Problem
He's
is,
done
you
that.
would never take away a 24-year-old woman's right to choose.
Right.
We don't know if Mitt Romney would or wouldn't. We just don't know.
Andrew, listen, I know where you stand on this election. I know where I stand on this election. Do you really believe that Mitt Romney is going to walk into the White House and really, I think he'll do what Ronald Reagan
tell you
did.
this one thing,
I think
Tom.
he'll do what Ronald Reagan did. I got other
I gotta go to
problems
break,
to
but I
worry
will tell you
about.
only this one point.
Because it's too divisive an issue.
If you look at the polling, and I know we're all sick of polling, I can speak for myself, but the one part of the electorate that even with the big push that he got during
Woman.
the debate, he's having a problem with white women.
And this will help him.
And because they're not sure what
Right.
he's going to do.
I agree.
And I think it's a legitimate concern. All right, we're going to take a quick break. But when we come back, it's a conversation. We talked about this morning, and I'm really looking forward to having it at the table. Why is, forget the politicians, the American public so all over the place this election year from 1 week to the next with the latest development, knee-jerk? Only a week ago, all saying that all Romney's campaign poured dirt on it. It's over. Now, Democrats worrying that Obama, he's lost the whole thing. Is this election just all about who does best in the final moments of the campaign? And is this fruit fry election here what we should expect as our new normal? Stay with us.